You hear that? That's the official story. The little bedtime story they whisper on the news every night. That we've dodged a recession, the economy's just peachy, and we're all headed for a soft landing. It's a really nice story. It's super comforting. And you know what? It might just be the single biggest lie of the decade. Because here's the thing. While all the experts are telling you to back up the truck and buy, the smartest investors on earth are doing the exact opposite. They are not walking to the exits, my friends. They are sprinting. And that brings us to the big, flashing red alert question. If everything's so great, why is the greatest investor alive preparing for an absolute catastrophe? Just look at this number. That is $381 billion. That is the record-breaking mountain of cash that Warren Buffett is currently sitting on. Look, this isn't saving up for a rainy day. This is building a full-blown ark, because you've seen the satellite photos of a flood that's about to wipe out the entire planet. When Warren Buffett does this, it's the loudest, quietest signal in finance. He's screaming that everything for sale right now is so insanely overpriced, he'd rather have cash than basically anything else. He's waiting for the fire sale, the one that only happens after everything is burned to the ground. And here's the wildest part. We've seen this movie before. It's like a rerun. Right before every major market crash, the so-called experts get on TV and tell us a recession is impossible. Remember, right before the 2020 crash? Billionaire Ray Dalio was famously shouting, "Cash is trash." Famous last words, right? Weeks later, the market took a 30% nosedive, and suddenly, cash was king. It's a pattern, you guys. The louder they yell that everything is fine, the more you should be thinking, something is very, very wrong. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go on an investigation. We are pulling back the curtain on this whole soft landing fairy tale, and we're going to look at the cold, hard evidence that everyone seems to be ignoring. And we're going to start with the 3 biggest, fattest lies they're feeding you right now. So, lie number 1. To bust this one, we got to talk about something called the LEI. I know, it sounds like a rejected Star Wars character. But just think of the leading economic index as your car's check engine light. It's specifically designed to flash before your car explodes on the highway. Well, guess what? That light has been flashing bright red for 17 consecutive months. That's the longest losing streak since right before the 2008 financial crisis. So no, the economy isn't strong, the engine is smoking, and everyone is just turning up the radio to drown out the noise. Okay, this one's my favorite, because this is where everybody gets it backward. For like a year, you've heard all the finance nerds freaking out about the inverted yield curve. But here's the secret they don't tell you. The inversion isn't the shark in the water. The inversion is just the Jaws theme music. Da-dun, da-dun. It's the warning. The actual shark attack, the crash, that has historically happened when the curve starts to uninvert. And why? Because that's the signal that the Fed is about to hit the panic button. And guess what's happening right now? Yep, the shark is at the boat. And now we get to the final and, frankly, most insulting lie. They shout it from the rooftops. Record low unemployment. The job market is on fire. But then you look at the fine print. The government quietly revised its numbers and, poof, like a terrible magic trick, 911,000 jobs that they said were created just vanished. They never even existed. At the same time, solid, full-time jobs are disappearing, and more people can't pay their credit card or car bills. See, the economy looks like the letter K. For the folks at the top, the party is raging. But for everybody else on that bottom leg of the K, a recession is already here. All right, so the official story is a complete house of cards. We've poked holes in it, it's a sham. But a house of cards doesn't just fall on its own. It needs a gust of wind to knock it over. Well, our investigation found 2 massive ticking time bombs that are set to go off, and they're the things nobody wants to talk about. Okay, time bomb number 1 is the AI bubble. On the surface, it looks incredible, but underneath, it's kind of an illusion. Get this, NVIDIA invests in OpenAI. OpenAI uses that money to pay Oracle for cloud computing. Then Oracle turns right around and uses that same money to buy chips from, NVIDIA. The money just goes around in a circle. It's like I pay you $20, you pay our friend $20, and he pays me back the same $20. We all get to say we made revenue, but no new money ever came in. It's a shell game, propped up by a terrifying amount of debt. It is the dot-com bubble all over again, just this time with way smarter robots. The second time bomb? It's sitting in all those empty office buildings. For the past few years, banks have been pretending that their loans on commercial real estate are fine. They've just been kicking the can down the road. Pay us next year. Okay, how about the year after? It's like slowly pulling off a Band-Aid you really don't want to rip off. But in 2026, the can can't be kicked anymore.
A mind-blowing $930 billion in this debt all comes due. It can't be refinanced, it can't be extended. The Band-Aid has to be ripped off, and it is going to be ugly.
Okay. Deep breaths, I get it. The data's a disaster, the official story's a lie, and there are two giant time bombs ticking away. It's easy to feel kind of freaked out right now. And you know what? You should be. It means you're paying attention. But panicking is not a strategy. So that leads to the big question. What the hell are we supposed to do about it? Now look, I could just give you a list of tips. Buy this, sell that. But that's boring. And talk is cheap. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. This right here is $25,000 of my own cash, and I am officially launching a challenge. I'm going to build a 2026 crash-proof portfolio live right here for all of you to watch. We are building a financial bunker, and we're going to see if we can survive the storm. The stakes are 100% real. This is my money. This could be a genius move or the most expensive video I have ever made. So let's do it. Let's build this thing. And let me be perfectly clear. This is not about getting rich quick. This is about not getting poor quick. This is a defense strategy designed to withstand a financial hurricane. Here's the blueprint.
Okay, forget all the Wall Street jargon. We're going to think like survivalists. First up, the fortress. These are our high-quality, bulletproof companies that can survive just about anything. Then, the rations. This is our cash and short-term government bonds, our food and water to wait out the storm. Next, the insurance policy. This is where we get a little sneaky. We're using something called put options. Basically, it's a way to bet against the market. If the whole thing goes down, this part of our bunker actually goes up and cushions the blow. And finally, and this is crucial, we jettison the dead weight. All those risky hype stocks from a couple years ago? Yeah, they're the first thing to get thrown overboard. See ya.
So what does this bunker actually look like? Well, here's a rough idea. We might put 40% in our fortress stocks, 30% in cash, 20% in defensive stuff, and maybe 10% on that sneaky insurance policy. The numbers will move around, but the strategy is always the same. Resilience over growth. We are not trying to hit a home run right now. We are just trying not to strike out. And this chart right here is exactly why this strategy makes sense right now. Remember our friend Ray Dalio saying cash is trash? Well, when interest rates were zero, he was right. But today, you can get over 5% completely risk-free from government bonds. You are literally being paid to wait, paid to be patient. You get to sit on the sidelines with a pile of ammo, just like Warren Buffett, waiting for the sale of a lifetime. Cash is no longer trash, my friends. Cash is a weapon. So there it is. The plan is set. The $25,000 is in place. The financial bunker is built. The doors are sealed, and the experiment is officially live. The clock is now ticking towards 2026, and we are going to track every single win and every single painful loss right here together. So that leaves us with one final, absolutely terrifying question. Is this a brilliant strategy to survive the crash, or am I about to light $25,000 on fire for your entertainment? I honestly don't know the answer, but we're about to find out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because this is about to get very, very real.